adorable little friends?
Hell no! Hell no! Hell no! It's finally time to talk about Where Winds Meet again, because this game is going to release very soon, which is going to be on November 14th of 2025. And I already talked to ChatGPT about how to survive 2 weeks without sleep. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to the game again and talk about why this game is so special. After that, we are going to react to the newest trailer that they have just released, which is about the open world gameplay of the game. And then I'm going to answer a few frequently asked questions about the game that I have received in my past videos. So if you want to find out anything new about the game, you will definitely get some info in this video. But before we start, a quick disclaimer. The reason why this video is very special is because it is my very first sponsored video on this channel. I just started YouTube about 5 months ago, and my very first video on this channel was actually about Where Winds Meet. And after that, I have created 2 more dedicated videos about the game and 3 top list videos where I mentioned the game, which was unpaid. So what I'm trying to say is I have already been hyped about this game before, and I was planning to do more videos on the game anyway without sponsorship, but please don't tell them. So my positive opinion about the game has not been impacted in any way. And with that out of the way, a huge thank you to Everstone Studios for sponsoring today's video and supporting my channel. But that's it, so let's jump in. So what exactly is Where Winds Meet? Where Winds Meet is the best game ever. Where Winds Meet is an open-world wuxia action-adventure RPG with a twist, because it is a hybrid MMO. Let me try to explain what that means. Where Winds Meet combines a solo mode, which is your own version of the game world, with an MMO mode, which is the multiplayer version of the game world. Now, the special thing about this is that you create your very own character and you seamlessly switch between these 2 game modes at any time, and you progress with the same character. Some of the content, like the story quests and side quests, lots of mini-games, NPC interactions, world bosses and exploration, and even a building system is in the game, are mainly bound to the solo world, which already offers over 150 hours of content from the start, which is crazy. While the other content is bound to the MMO feature of the game, like raids, guilds and guild wars, PvP arena or battle royale modes, boss challenges, social interactions and mini-games, and much more. And in order to max out your character and unlock everything, the game actually encourages you to experience both game modes, which makes it a hybrid MMO. So if you had a tough day and you just want to take it slow, you can explore your solo world, finish some quests, or do some base building. And if you want to jump into the multiplayer end game action, you simply switch to the MMO world and join other players to do so. And all of that contributes to the progress of your single character. The game has an action combat system with combos, dodges, perfect parries, and lots of abilities and combat styles to unlock. So if you are into gameplay that requires some skill and allows you to create your very own skill set, the game is probably perfect for you. You equip 2 weapon arts at the same time, and you switch between them for cooldown management, while also equipping up to 8 active abilities and 4 different passive abilities. And you can literally mix everything however you want, no limits. And ChatGPT tells me that this makes 1.3 billion different possible combinations. So be free, be whoever you want to be. And they are adding new stuff, so. And if you are into the classic Holy Trinity, the game offers weapon arts for healing or tanking, which is specifically important for all the MMO game modes in the game. So even though it is a action combat game, you can still choose to make your doctor's degree in the game, so don't worry. So you might think that if the game offers both solo and MMO modes, this might impact the quality or amount of content in the game. But I have played the beta and also spoke to different players from the Chinese version, and let me tell you, hell no. There is so much content in the game. I am convinced that the developers didn't sleep since 2014. I hope they are okay. I seriously hope they are okay. It's so much I just can't put it into this video, so I'm going to make a separate video for just listing all the content. But the best part about this is it's free to play and 0 pay to win. And whoever made this decision at Everstone Studios, this is for you. Love ya. And Everstone Studios has just released another trailer for the game, which is mostly about interacting with the game world, and it shows some side stuff that you can do in the game. And it might be confusing if you've never heard of the game before, which is why I'm going to react to this trailer right now, and I'm going to give you more context on what you can see in the trailer. So I guess let's jump in.
Blissful retreat.
Already gotta say, game looks amazing. I love the graphics. People are like, oh, he's pausing already, Jesus. But it just looks gorgeous. That's the first thing that we have to note already.
A place of joy where every day is pure bliss.
What? You can play mini games with dogs. Whoever does not wish this the game now, you're a bad person. I'm joking. This is actually one of the mini games that you get to play in the game. It's a traditional Chinese table game. I have zero idea how it works. I absolutely failed in this game. But if you ever wanted to learn it, that's the perfect time for it.
You grew up without parents.
This, interestingly, can actually be used in combat. These are mystical arts and you can use them in combat, like the bell is technically allowing you to stagger the enemy, and obviously the flame attack burns them. As you can see, you can use these mystical arts for other stuff in the game world as well. Like you can burn the fields of the NPCs and they will hunt you down for that. So it's obviously nothing that they will be too happy about, but it shows that these mystical arts in the game, they can be used both in combat but also outside of combat, which is pretty interesting. It's a cool way to like allow you to experiment with the game world. So what I can tell you is do not do this to a goose, because let me just tell you, don't do it. don't do it. You will face the consequences.
But hey, you had company. All those loving neighbors.
Why are you running?
Adorable little
Why are you?
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no! I told you. Consequences. I'm literally having nightmares of geese.
Breathtaking views. And Uncle Chiang, your sword master. But it's time to chase your dreams out there.
This is actually, story-wise, this is your master. They already said it in the trailer, so no spoiler here. And this is your player character. So this is just a character that has been created for the trailer. Obviously, you can create your own character and use your own cosmetics and create a male character, a female character, whatever you want. This is just one version of a player character that someone created.
Welcome to
Oh, hell yeah.
Total madness. And you'll love every
Hell
minute of it.
yeah.
Streets humming with crowds.
Hell yeah.
Palaces towering above. And
Hell yeah! This is the first major city in the game that you visit, or basically the major city in the game that you visit, and you will also spend a lot of time in the MMO mode in this city. But what's so interesting about this is it's huge. And it looks amazing. And one thing is that lots of NPCs are like roaming the streets, so they have a daily schedule and it just feels lively, and you can talk to a lot of them actually, and they will give you lots of information. So it feels like an actual town that has an actual cycle, which is amazing. And I also like the fact that they like took a lot of inspiration from traditional Chinese buildings. Like you can see the tower on the left that is actually inspired by a real tower existing in a Chinese major city. So beyond that, you were actually able to like enter each of these houses. Like they were all enterable. And what the hell? You could enter a lot of them. So it's the scale of this game is absolutely crazy, and that's what's blowing my mind and why I'm so positive about this game.
towering above. And thousands of people with their own stories to tell.
And as you can see, like you can listen to dialogues to find out some stuff, which may lead to a secret quest that may lead to unlocking a passive ability. and stuff like that. So I don't have to explain why this is pretty amazing. I love it.
Enjoy rousing live performances. Street fights that'll get your heart racing.
Ah, the mini games. Hell yeah. Like all of the mini games that you can see here right now, they are both available in the solo world, but also available in the multiplayer world. Like you can play against NPCs, and that will also unlock a special currency, which is extremely important for the black market. But you can also play against other players in the MMO mode. You can do sumo against other players, which functions like rock, paper, scissors. So you choose if you want to attack, if you want to thrust, or if you want to defend. And it depends, like it's a rock, paper, scissors system. So one counters the other, which is a pretty interesting and fun mini game as well. So all of this is specifically interesting if you do it in the MMO mode against real players. Sometimes you have to do it in the story, in the solo world, to unlock something specific. So it doesn't matter if you play the MMO mode or the single player mode, you get to experience all the mini games. And there are so many other mini games, like card games. There's a healing mini game where you can heal other players, and which functions like a game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is kind of crazy. And there's like some sort of insult game, which functions like a rap battle. You insult the NPC and he's insulting you back, and whoever is insulting better is just winning the mini game, which is absolutely crazy. I love it. But I also gotta say, I absolutely don't understand the Chinese card games. They are so complicated. Oh, I hope they are not mandatory, because if that is the case, hell no.
Wall stride. Slip out of anything. Fetch from afar.
I don't think that becoming smaller than your cat is a great idea, especially if you don't know the cat. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's how, like, crazy these missions get sometimes. Like, you get to become a dog and play cards with other dogs, or you get to shrink and play with a cat. So
These tricks. Rob the rich. Rob the rich.
that's the stealing ability, actually. So you can steal from NPCs. Obviously, you can be caught. So if another NPC like sees you stealing stuff, they might actually beat you and put you into jail. So there is like a wanted system in the game, and the militia is going to try and catch you and put you into jail. That is actually way deeper than you think, because you can obviously fight back and you can get away. And if your wanted level is going too high, other players can invade your solo world and try to claim the bounty. So they can bounty hunt other players. So of course, if you don't want that, you should try to not overdo it, obviously. And the funniest part is, if you actually get caught by a bounty hunter and your level was extremely high, you will be put into a cage, which is dragged around the multiplayer map, and other players can come and throw eggs and vegetables at you. So, and poo-poo and stuff like that. So if you decide to like get the highest wanted level, you should expect that.
Paralyze your enemies mid-chase.
Oh, hell
Let
yeah.
Tai Chi turn their strength against them.
That's a pretty cool like demonstration of the mystical arts, both in combat but also in the overworld. So you can use the mystical arts to solve puzzles. So sometimes you have to throw a bear into a wall to find a chest, or like get fish out of the water by using some mystical art abilities. So there are some very cool like mystical arts for combat, especially like the staff one that you just saw. I love that one. It just allows for pretty cool combos.
And be your key.
Hell yeah!
Becoming a legend.
Hell yeah! That was the flying ability. So what you just saw here is basically the option to like soar through the sky and get from point A to point B like really quickly. There are different flying abilities, but they honestly just look different, but they cover the same distance as far as I know. And you unlock one pretty early in the game, so you can use this flying ability pretty early, but it's bound to one thing. You have to have a certain exploration degree in an area before you can fly in that area. But I gotta say that you get to this level fairly quickly, and the best way to do that is just to unlock all the quick travel points in this certain area. That almost gets you to the exploration level that you need in order to fly in that area. You will have to do like a couple more missions or clearing some forts, but ultimately getting to the point that allows you to fly around the map is, you can do that pretty quickly actually. Mounts are so irrelevant if you can just jump into the air and fly through the sky with like an ability that looks insane. Whenever you unlock that, you will probably never do something else. So
The vast world. But the real heroes always find each other. The winds are calling. Will you answer?
I will! Yes, I will! Yes, I will! Damn. So while the trailer did not focus on the action part of the game, it still showed a lot of the social features and game world interactions, and hell yes, I'm absolutely down for that. Because I gotta say that I am really sick of games that just forget the social aspects and just want you to go online, do a couple of dungeon runs and go offline. So I gotta say, but because the game is just so big, I received a lot of different questions in the comment sections of my last videos, and a few of them repeated themselves. So I want to end this video by answering a few of the frequently asked questions. So let's go. Probably the biggest and most important question was about the monetization. Is the game pay to win? Because it's free to play and most of the free to play games are pay to win. The short answer is no. Absolutely not. The long answer is the game is free to play and receives content updates every few months, which adds new regions, new weapons, new weapon arts, new mystical arts, new cosmetics, you get it. But everything you can actually pay for in the game is only cosmetical. So there will be no progression, no weapons, nothing locked behind a paywall. And you can basically unlock everything besides cosmetical stuff by just playing the game. But there are 3 small exceptions that I don't want to ignore. The first one is mounts, because you can buy premium mounts and they basically allow you to auto path, and they also allow you to auto collect resources, which is just convenience. And if you have one mount, you are fine. The second one is the black market, which allows you to sell cosmetics to other players, which technically allows you to convert cosmetics into the in-game currency. But let me tell you, that does not give you any advantage. You can trust me, I am absolutely sensitive when it comes to that. And if the in-game currency would be the bottleneck, I would definitely tell you. But it's so not. But it also actually allows you to buy cosmetics from other players by just playing the game without investing any money, which is pretty cool. And the third one is the season pass, because it actually gives you a small amount of extra stamina. But we are talking about like 10% of extra stamina, something like that. But I gotta say that for me, a season pass can be compared to like a monthly subscription model in other games. And I'm absolutely willing to pay at least $10 a month for a game, because that is just fair. I mean, people are working on this game and I'm almost getting everything for free in this game. So I think it's just fair to like at least go with the season pass, but that's my personal opinion. The next question is, how much does the stamina system impact the game? Because yes, you have heard correctly, there is a stamina system in the game. But it's important to note that you cannot buy any extra stamina in the game with paid currency. It's impossible, besides the season pass. But that's just a very small difference. And I can also confirm that 95% of the game, which is hundreds of hours of content, is not bound to the stamina system. We are just talking about the end game modes that drop the end game gear, but everything before that is absolutely not bound to the system. The PvP is not bound to the system, so it's just like 3 game modes or something like that. But so overall, I can say that even though I'm not the biggest fan of stamina systems in games, it really isn't that bad in this game. You have hundreds of hours of content and limitless PvP in the game without spending any stamina. Yeah, you can play as long as you want. which is great because I have absolutely nothing else to do. So can I play the solo mode with my friends? And how does base building work in the game? Yes, you can invite your friends to your solo world and do almost all of the content in a small group of 4 friends, except the story quests. I guess the reason for that is to just keep it cinematic because of the cutscenes and the balancing, so I'm fine. But trust me, there are some world bosses in the solo world and you will need help from your friends eventually, because they are... Talking about the base building, this function is only available in the solo mode, which is probably because of the amount of freedom that you have, because you can build anything that you want anywhere, which would be extremely hard to allow in the MMO mode without having plots or dedicated servers for that, because people would just build random stuff everywhere. But the cool thing is you can invite your friends to your solo world and they can check out what you have built and you can spend time with them in your building. So I think that's cool. Another question was, am I required to play the MMO mode if I just want the solo experience? Well, no, but yes, but no. So you have to be aware that some of the content, like some cosmetics, some titles and stuff like that, and eventually even endgame loot might be bound to the MMO section of the game, like the raids, for example. But the game is absolutely playable without all of this in the solo mode. I think you can finish the whole solo section of the game without anything from the MMO mode, really. And you already have hundreds of hours of content in the solo world without ever going to the MMO mode. But if you are someone that wants to unlock everything that is unlockable in the game by playing, you will have to participate in the MMO section of the game. And honestly, I gotta say, if you are not participating in the MMO aspect, you are missing out. Like, for real. The next question is, does the single player mode require an internet connection? Yes, because new content is added frequently and it's a live service game, so it's required. Another question was, how good is the PvP and is it necessary to play PvP in this game? First of all, I think PvP is amazing because you can literally parry everything if you had 5 cups of coffee and 10 cans of energy drinks, but it's possible. So it's very skill-based and I love everything about it. Now, is it necessary? No. You will be able to earn some exclusive cosmetics for your character, but it's not necessary to participate in PvP to progress your character. Beyond that, there is no forced open world PvP, so if you don't want to fight other players, you don't have to. That is, unless you don't go rogue and kill hundreds of NPCs in your world, because that actually allows other players to join your world as bounty hunters and claim the bounty. But I gotta say that you really have to force it to get that far, because it's like having 5 stars in GTA. So instead of the army, other players come and try to claim the bounty. But if you stick with 4 stars, you are Gucci. All right, that covers most of the frequently asked questions. But let me ask you, what do you think about the game? Like, do you like the game so far? And if so, why did you not wishlist it yet? Because you should do that. You should click on the link in the video description and you should wishlist the game. That would help the developers to spread the word. And what is your favorite feature in the game so far that you are looking most forward to? And if you are still not fully convinced to play the game, why? What is your main gripe about the game? Why would you eventually not play the game? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I love constructive discussions and I will answer to every comment that is a constructive discussion. So let's do it. And now I got something special for you because I already tested the MMO mode of the game and I made a whole video about it. So you should check it out here. It got PvP and I played some co-op content. So I spoke about the good things and the bad things about the MMO mode. So you should absolutely check this video out. It was a lot of work. And if not, thank you for watching this video and have a great day. See you in the next one. Bye bye.